Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is James Gregorski with Borderlands, Texas Poetry Review. I'd like to thank y'all very much for coming out this afternoon to celebrate our issue 50 release. Here at Malvern Books, you work hard all week. You only have so much time on the weekend to do some things. You choose to come here to celebrate art, to celebrate poetry, and to dig into that community. We really greatly appreciate that. I want to thank a few people before we start. First of all, Malvern Books, thank you so much to you and your staff for lending us your space, your place, and all of the extra hands you have here and there, being flexible, being helpful, and holding our events here since issue number 40, which 10 issues. It's been great. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. There are numerous other people to thank, so many that I can't list them all, but I would like to say a special thanks to all of our founders, directors, editors, IT folks, present, past, who have carried the journal, started the journal and printed it first in 1992 and carried it all the way through now. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. It's most definitely appreciated. And beyond that, an additional staff member I like to think of, Terry Sherrill, and her staff, well, her full staff as well at One Touch Point, who print our books since the very beginning. So thank you so much. Borderlands first published in 1992. And how that got going, essentially you had a group of graduate students, you had young adults who were looking to create a voice for this region, for Texas. The Persian Gulf War was kind of going, and they wanted to find a home for those voices. And so, with a lot of work, they came together. They learned quite a bit, and they published that first issue in 1992. The issue was remarkable for many ways as a success in of itself, but the issue also had the artwork of Mr. James Searles, an established artist who immediately put the journal on the map, immediately gave it credibility as the face of the journal. 50 issues later, we have asked Mr. Searles to return and grace our cover again. So this issue brings the past into the present as well, and we're very grateful for that. The issue also takes us into the future. We talk about the staff who starts out, the founders, the directors, so on and so forth, who put the journal together, put it on the map, started it, and right now, as of this issue, we have a newer team who's taking over. So the journal in of itself is something that's always carrying its mission, always moving forward with whichever team that it has. So we're very grateful that this issue brings together the past, the present, and the future, and that's what we're here to celebrate today. We have any number of guests who could tell you all about the history of Borderlands, the artwork, and who would be glad to read some of their work for you this afternoon. They can do it much better than I could. I'd like to introduce to you Allyson Whipple, who is our administrative director on our staff, and she will take you through the program for today. and I'll catch up with you at the end. Again, thank you all so much for coming. It's much appreciated. It's great to see you all this afternoon.
Thank you. This is a really exciting time of transition for Borderlands. I was here a year ago, getting ready to step into the role of administrative director, and I did not know that in the year, literally all of the things were going to change, just all of them, every single one. And so with our Ryan Sharp and with Daniel Priest ending their time with Borderlands with issue 50, I'm also so excited about our new editorial team. We've got Faylita Hicks as our managing editor. If you don't know who she is, wow, this is going to be great. And alongside her, we have Alana Torres, Nori Rose Hubert-Besares, and Nia KB, who are going to be assistant editors, helping get things off the ground. And I couldn't be more thrilled for the team that the board managed to put together. In other transitions, James, who has been just like the rock of Borderlands for years, is on to some new adventures in life. I'm so grateful that he was here for the past year because he showed me the ropes of how to do all of the Borderlands things. Everything from the very unsexy grants to getting the issue up and running, getting cover art going. So he is going to be so missed. I really don't entirely know what things will be like without him. He stepped in as an editor when we needed the work. He's also been our board president. But that being said, we have 3 new board members coming on that, again, I'm super excited about. Cindy Heiser, I know many of you in this room know who Cindy Heiser is, so I'm very excited about her stepping on board. We also have Maggie Illersick and Patrick Walter joining us. Oh, you're over there. It's very light. There's a lot of backlighting. I really can't see anyone beyond the second row. But so we've got 3 great new board members, so I'm very excited for the future. But with that being said, let's move into a little bit of a retrospective, and I'm going to start by bringing up Liz Garton Scanlon. As a grad student at UT Austin, Liz Garton Scanlon joined the founders of Borderlands to become one of the journal's early editors. She is now the author of many beloved books for children, including the Caldecott-honored All the World, Kate Who Tamed the Wind, and the brand new One Dark Bird. She's also published a novel for middle grade readers, The Great Good Summer, and has a second one forthcoming. Scanlon is on the faculty of the Vermont College of Fine Arts. Welcome, I'm so glad she could be here to speak today. Thank you.
Thank you. This is so exciting. I, as one of the journal's early editors and board members, I'm honored to have been asked to speak today and provide a little bit of history and context, but I also just had time to glance at Ramona's essay in the middle of this issue, and it goes into far more detail than I will and than I am able to, so I really recommend reading it. It's a lovely retrospective. As James said, Borderlands Texas Poetry Review launched in 1992, which was the year that I moved to Austin. I never thought that I would be here this many years later, and I'm pretty sure we didn't think Borderlands would be either. I had come to get my master's in English with an emphasis in creative writing at the University of Texas. But poetry was alive and well in the community at that time too. There were open mics in several bars and coffee shops around town. Poets were forming critique groups and book clubs, and the Austin International Poetry Festival was a budding entity. Many of us spent hours every weekend tri-folding our poems along with self-addressed stamped envelopes to submit to various journals for publication. We were excited and hopeful about the active and concrete ways we could live with poetry. It was that hope and excitement that the founding members brought to early Borderlands meetings. The journal began over a series of discussions among several UT grad students, including Darcy Randall, Dorothy Barnett, Jack Brannon, Pam Cook, Ed Madden, Alice Batt, Lynn Gilbert, and others. They believed that they could create a journal that didn't yet exist, combining two things that really mattered to them: a strong regional identity and an outward-looking bent. This was the time of the Gulf War, after all, and the poets involved were looking for poetry that was aware of culture and politics and history and landscape. Before too long, some new blood, including my own, joined forces with the very first founders. We met and worked in coffee shops and around kitchen tables. We handed back and forth heavy cardboard boxes of typed hard copy poems. We edited with ballpoint pens and made decisions in person and over the phone. The journal, which took on its distinctive black and red banded look right out of the gate, came out twice a year. There was a rotating slate of editors, and it always featured Austin and Texan poets, even as it gained notice in wider spheres. It got early love and support from many illustrious people and entities, including writers James Michener and Jim Magnuson, artists James Searles and Julie Speed, and the City of Austin and the Texas Writers League. Borderlands was really and truly born. So what was the daily life of a journal like? Well, we loved reading the submissions and looking at the art, almost as much as we dreaded beating the bushes for grants, trying to rustle up subscribers, or figuring out the intricacies of distribution. Like anything else, there were joys and challenges all along the way. An umbrella organization would fold, board members would need to step down, subscriptions would flatline, but inevitably, that perfect, shiny poem would arrive in the post office box, and we would rejoice. We couldn't wait to put it alongside the other perfect, shiny poems, to solicit an essay or two, to craft an editor's note, and shape the bios, to head over to Morgan Printing and meet with the magician, Terry Sherrill, who would turn it all into yet another beautiful issue. And that was all just in the first 4 or 5 years. Because it was then that Ramona Searley stepped in, speaking of magicians, along with Patrick Collins, Christine Gilbert, Scott Wiggerman, and others. It was the team that ushered the journal out of its nest and into long-term sustainability and recognition, eventually passing it to other devoted caretakers, like some of whom are here today, who would see it all the way to this, the 50th issue, which is a remarkable accomplishment, and one that those of us digging through those early cardboard boxes around kitchen tables couldn't be happier about. Dorothy Barnett and Darcy Randall were not able to be here today, but they asked me to pass on their congratulations, their gratitude, and their good wishes. I am thrilled to do so and to add my own. Thank you.
So glad we could have so many people from the long life of the journal. It makes me really honored to just be part of this tradition and this community, and it makes me even more optimistic for what's in store.